Oh, you're right. I forgot. I'm so sorry. That's my bad.
He's actually speaking Tagalog to his own teammates, and that's why he's covering his mouth.
So that Kirk doesn't understand. All right, we've unlocked the code, boys. Team Spirit passes out the Kaleo from Brusco. I think there could be a possibility that we'll see Brusco still end up in one of his old comforts in the Cho. Not the favored rush like before, but still does very well against very specific lineups.
Okay, something's throwing me off a little bit with the Lancelot ban. Real quick, Basha does come in. Okay, now it makes a little bit of sense. But Onic PH, I feel like if you're not going to ban the Basha, maybe could have left the 1-1 open for yourselves at least. On their side, they get the CC this time. But there's my answer, right? They ban out the Lancelot. I wanted to see them maybe pick up utility here and get prio utility, whether that's Fredrin or Basha, and they do secure that.
I think they also need to pick up Kimmy. Kimmy can't be picked up with Baxi on the opposite end. Maybe Farsa, I suppose. Unless they also want to... No, but they can't even flex picks now that they already had the CC in the first place. So I think it's really down to like, hey, let's just get winning lanes and just, smash the early game.
Orza could be clean here up front. They go for the Granger though. Another long range. You have burst. You have your bases covered. Instead, you leave Super Friends with the ability to flex into any kind of mage he wants later.
Yeah, I appreciate this Granger rush also because now you don't have to worry about a Granger Farsa. Essentially end up with Team Spirit, and then if ever you do end up with a Farsa, you have a great combo already locked in for yourself.
Yeah. For TS, I don't know if they're going to utilize the Baxi as a flex pick. It doesn't seem likely because there's no reason to just yet. I think it's fine if they are thinking about synergies like, the Angela, Baxia, but I do think that Kimmy is kind of a must here.
Okay, so Kimmy, then I think Irithel might also do well for Team Spirit.
Both will do well, but I think it depends on who... Actually, they can show both. Kimmy is alongside the Irithel.
Yeah, then go early, and then later on, surprise Onic, if they do want to lean towards that Angela, it's a little bit greedy, but Angela Baksha, Angela Irithel, you have a lot of avenues there. What do you think, Jerks?
I've been seeing the Granger pop up, and the Irithel has popped to my mind too, like for a couple games that we've seen. But I don't know, I'm still, it's such a weird hero. Like, it either performs really well, or it just bombs out, and sometimes it even bombs out against the hero it's supposed to do well against, i.e. The Granger. So for me, it's kind of scary, especially against a quick farming team like Onic that wants to get aggressive early on. The Irithel takes a little bit of time. So I kind of like the Moskov, possibly still on Hiko. Give him something comfortable. Beatrix maybe. I think Hiko has plenty of space to play. I don't think they have to rush him up front.
Beatrix without the combination. This is assuming that Sawa still has access to things like Kaja.
Well, that's why I think they could push him. I think they could push Hiko to the end of the draft, is what I'm saying. I don't think they need to rush him. They could prio Sawa, they could prio other players before locking in a gold lane.
I can get behind that, right? Especially if they're locking in like Kimmy. I mean, if they go Kimmy and then they have to figure something else out, what would be the other flex pick in this case? And I think that Cho, it's not the greatest, but it does kind of disincentivize Onic to look to play an assassin.
For flex, they could lock in a Badang early on.
Oh, that's also good.
Like, lock in the Badang here, maybe their mage, and then they have nice movement, they have nice pivot position for their last two picks.
Now we're going to be seeing the draft return in just a bit. We're just sorting out some things on the stage right now to ensure that our players have the best and most even playing field. So thank you for this patience, for your patience, and we will continue discussing the draft here. If you have any picks that you'd want to throw up into the air, don't forget, wherever you're watching, feel free to comment, join us, and sound off online, as the online community have been very vocal, and we do play off a lot with what the community has been feeling with picks.
Can we get more shots of Cold Star? Because God, he's so handsome. They keep getting his perfect side profile, and I'm just like, geez, dude, he's got jeans.
Jeans.
Yeah.
Great retort. I love it. Oh, Kelra's just vibing out into the meantime. I'm thinking whether or not Onic is still going to lean into the Edith pick. And I think more and more, now that they've already conditioned 2 times, that it has gone into not only the EXP lane, 3 times at this point, that it's not only gone into the EXP lane, but it's possible for people like Brusco to pick it up later down the line.
At
think it's a great flex pick, and I think that is something that they might want to even consider throwing into the roam position again if they're not looking to just have like that hard disengage.
I agree. I think at this point I'm still so thrown with the drafts right now.
They're gonna be like Arlen.
Well, even just meta in general right now. It's not easy being an analysis trying to guess drafts, right? Because there's just so much room to move. They do finally lock things in. Moskov, so they take gold lane. They get comfortable. I mentioned the Moskov earlier. It is a possibility. Do we see the Badong or something like that pop up to still leave themselves open?
We do.
There it is.
Yeah, great prediction there. They do have multiple flex options, surprisingly enough. As we've seen Baksha not only go jungle, but also into the roam. We've seen Badang go roam, EXP usually roam, but the possibility is there. So Onic Philippines will have to take that into consideration. They might want to... Do they go Super Prince or King Kong here? Considering there's already a chance Team Spirit are showing their jungler, and it might just be the Baksha.
It's tough. So hard.
Yeah, I think no matter what, it's a bit of a pinch. The box here really locks down like a majority of the heroes. You go for Kimmy, you basically have the counter pick. You go for Frederick, immediate counter pick as well. They're gonna go for Joy. All right. Okay, so at least Onic isn't afraid to say, hey, I'm expecting you to invade me, but once I get 2 items, maybe I can look for Hiko and play towards Kelra's side of the map.
I think this makes Brusco's pick all the more important, and hopefully Team Spirit check and actually acknowledge the potential of a Cho on the hands of Brusco, because that plays into the Onic PH comforts that allows them to read the rotations of where the Badang and the Baksha is, if it is going to be going to the jungle, most importantly. So hopefully they do consider ban that out. If not, I think Onic Philippines might have a very easy time at the center of the map with Brusco on the Cho.
Yeah, Team Spirit's also been doing a great job at picking heroes and leaving, something that was a lot of problem in last year's the Farza open, but knowing like it's okay if you pick it. We have lots of answers for it. Gatot taken out. I mean, right now it's feeling very similar to Game 1 where Team Spirit's kind of putting Onic PH in this weird spot where what are they going to do with their mid lane here? You're running out of options.
The man does have a wide pool. I am not going to take it away from Super Prince to consider locking in the Valir or even a Kagura yet again.
Yeah, both of which would actually do pretty decent into TS, right? Because it's about peel, it's less about damage. There we go, the Angela. See, that's why. The Phoveus was such a weird ban. They could have let it through because they already had the counter pick on their side. Yes, it does a bunch of damages, but like, sure, you're not going to win the lane, which is kind of the important thing coming in. Sorry, the important theme. So pairing it up with also banning the Angela makes a lot more sense.
Okay, what's the last
ban from Team Spirit? Do they just continue into Rome here? Gatot's gone. Take out Dig, Tigreal.
The Tigreal might suddenly be a surprise option as well for Team Spirit later on, especially in the hands of Sawo. They are going up against a Joy. Then that means it's a Badang CC matchup in EXP and Jungle Baksha. If ever that is the route we're going to end up with. They take out the Kadita. I think the 2 bans of Spirit are a little bit too obvious that they're leaning towards Farsa for the center of the map. Yeah,
Onic PH, they can go for Kimmy, they can go for Farsa, both of which are pretty good. I think the Farsa might just be a lot better this time around because they don't need the inevitable engage, they need the big chunks.
Could be Brusco pick now, then just save Super Prince pick for 5 so that you go in with a little bit of element of surprise, because so far Onic PH, I feel like a lot of their drafts or the drafts that they lean into towards MSC has that one element of surprise. And I think for this one, it could be the Super Prince pick at 5, if ever.
It's definitely a tough spot, and I think both teams really taking their time with this draft. I think this game right here is going to kind of be the tilter on how the rest of this goes. They go for the Cho. Solid. I mean, overall, it's it's a decent pick no matter what. It's not like, oh, this is the answer, but it's not it's not out of this realm.
Yeah, no, I think that this is better. That way they can really utilize Super Prince's like deep hero pool. It might end up just being like Valir Cho, really depending on what this pick from the side of TS, whether it's the Farsa or it's the Kimmy. Either or, pretty decent at this point. You've got some pretty clear direction with the comp.
Could be Farsa, Kimi, and then maybe even a Lapu Lapu for Kid Bomba. I feel like they need something a little bit more explosive as well in the EXP. They already have the box for the Badang. I feel like the glue would be a little bit too overload in terms of thinking about crowd control and utility. The Lapu Lapu could provide them that explosiveness, but they go for the Arlot instead, paired up with the Farsa. So they're looking to make a few of the maybe potential mispositionings that could come out from Onic Philippines a little bit more punishable.
I'm for it because you have 3 enablers, and I think Badang is already a pretty strong enabler for the Arla to kind of go crazy throughout the match. The issue now is that you can play on both sides. You have two laners that potentially, I think that Hiko should be okay, which means that, unfortunately for Kid Bomba, he needs to be the one that stays alive, assuming that this Arla goes into the EXP, which I don't think it's going to be the case.
Yeah, we think what Arlot Rome, Badang EXP. I like Team Spirit's draft. Last mage pick is the Lu Yi. It's the pick I wanted to see earlier.
Yep.
Onic PH, again, just kind of drafting with comfort, I feel like. Not being binded to anything.
Yeah, comfort plus that additional element of the Super Friend surprise pick.
Yeah, I think that TS right now, if anything, just don't suck at the laning phase, right? That's if they can survive that, then we're going to see a real match against them versus Onic PH.
Super Friends got a Selena in game number 2. Now he gets another signature pickup in the Lo Yi, a pick that has somewhat dipped out in terms of priorities, but when shown up, actually has served some surprises in previous tournaments, and especially here in MSC. Can Onic push the envelope and go 2-1, or will Team Spirit shock him and take this game number 3? Bring it in, Naisu. What do you two think?
Well, this is another pick over to Super Friends. One of the few players that I would say would be brave enough even to bring out the Lu Yi right now in the meta that we're finding ourselves in. We'll see if it's all enough to bring it to a match point for Onic Philippines if they get this one, or if we see it TS bring it together with this. Again, I have to agree with Gideon here. They gotta win the lanes, bring it up.
Yep, getting past the laning phase to at least be on equal footing, regardless of the disadvantages of the lineup, is gonna be very vital for Team Spirit, considering that it has been one of the most noticeable things in the previous game, in the way that they just completely let go of the momentum, just allowed Onic PH to take over the entirety of the game. But I feel like with the lineup that they have right now, they have a lot more tools to be able to keep up. And right now, they're showing us how they just want to keep playing just as aggressively up against Onic PH. That was an early flicker forced out of Brusco, and that definitely already means something.
Yeah, I guess that was, better than nothing. They do get the battle spell out, and we've seen it before where even a, AHO early on can do enough damage. This is the same story right here. We saw this in the previous game where Kelra is just winning the lane, and you might need to do something for Hiko here if you're Team Spirit to be able to provide him a better laning phase, but it really does just come down to these gold laner mechanics here, and Salo taking some damage.
Oh, he might actually be the first to fall then. Fortunately, he has the flicker. One shot will try to chase after. Oh,
Kelra
catches Kelra, stops him in his tracks, and now it is clearly a better situation for Hiko in the early game.
That's tough. Loses the flicker too. Kelra being a little aggressive, I guess also mistiming that flicker because one shot comes through, finds that connection, and as we've seen before, Concussive Blast, especially early on, does considerable amounts of damage too. That's usually where we see like mid lane first bloods under the 1 minute mark. So with that happening, nothing too crazy, still evens across the board, but this Turtle's for the taking, the first one in the game. TS gets control of it. Brusco's not level 4, and King Kong's still working on the buff.
Yep.
They want to fight for this.
Oh, Fist Crack already used to King Kong. Will try to go for the stun, but it still is Retribution. That's going to be able to secure the objective for Onic PH. And now the curtain call, stopping Sunset Lover and Kid Bomba from walking to wherever they want to go. But Kirk actually gets caught. That will be the way of the dragon denied, but the duality coming in from Super Prince, just dealing so much damage to clumped up members of Team Spirit.
That could have gone way different if Onic Philippines had a little more firepower in it. Maybe even if Brusco had the flicker available, because he could have gone in and gotten multiple members with the G Kundo. But it didn't happen, so that's better for Team Spirit. But again, the objective went to Onic Philippines. So they're able to go ahead and get that. It's a small win for them for now. Nothing too crazy. Team Spirit still under control. I think, again, going back to it, the biggest thing is, taking care of Hiko, letting him have a better laning experience.
Yeah.
He did get the kill earlier on, so that is, at least a little bit of a benefit for him to build up. But I don't know. This is one of the things where it's like you really have to see how Team Spirit plays around the options that they have here. King Kong, just taking that.
Gets stunned there briefly by Sunset Lover though. Oh, but Sao off-cam kill by Onic PH as well. It seems like they're able to somehow deal with whatever intentions that they have, and despite them trying to actually pay a bit more attention to Hiko, Onic PH, they still make all that pressure felt. Like Hiko still we can't say that he still has the best time right now in the laning phase, but Super Prince gets to escape that attempt from one shot. Won't break out into a fight just yet though.
Great job from Brusco there. King Kong might go to the turret, has the damage, will pick up the kill and sidestep in the final slash as well. So a good response there from Onic Philippines. I was going to say earlier on, Brusco did the right thing. He was able to put pressure where he needed to on Sunset Lover earlier on. So now second turtle's coming up here, and Onic Philippines is in a good position. This is now a little bit of a spike that they have here. Genius Wand picked up 2 for King Kong. That's going to work really well with Super Prince on the Lu Yi. That is going to help even do a little more damage that we're seeing from the reactions or the interactions of Super Prince. So the fight, though, for the space for this turtle is going to be crucial. Gold laner still duking out 1v1, though.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot since that kill we saw onto Kelra, but that's a way of a dragon. Committed onto Kid Bomba. Fistcraft will be used as well. And one shot gets to steal the objective. Now Sunset Lover right in the face. Takes down Kirk. And they will start to disengage after that. A surprising turn of events, but there's a diversion.
Oh, they're going for Hiko. They're going to go on the hunt, but I don't think they spot him out, and there's no kick from Brusco. So good job for Team Spirit. I mean, at least they're able to go ahead and secure themselves that, but Sunset Lover again. And this is what King Kong does, and he gets his hands on the joy. He will go and make these plays across the map. Sometimes if he gets the objective or not, it doesn't really matter in certain situations because he's able to get the right targets on this joy and put enough pressure where it's like, hey, I'm in your side of the jungle. Either you respond to me or you lose resources, or you lose these 1v1s. And that's the tricky part of a Joy, is keeping up with her and then like trying to catch her.
Yeah, things have been very uncomfortable for Sunset Lover, or more so for Team Spirit in terms of however they wanted to make use of their lineup and coordinate their skills. But they actually find a setup here onto Super Prince. There goes XOD, and Hiko will have to take him out on his own, but he will not have enough resources and gets threatened by the burst as well. So you see, once Onic PH gets to split up the entire intention from Team Spirit, or just denies them of being as coordinated as they should be, Team Spirit can't just get the job done.
Okay. At this point, Team Spirit might have to transition here. They're going to stay, for the most part, building up Hiko, letting him do his thing, but this macro level of play is going to be, I feel like, the difference in this game. And anytime you have the Lu Yi on and play, that's one of the main things. We've seen it from the diversion, but you're playing a constant catch-up game because of this. Like I said, hold on, diversion used. One shot's tanking up. You don't want to kick him, so he'll go ahead and pop the ultimate, though. But this turtle's coming up, so he's going to go grab the purple buff. And then, I don't know, do they contest this? Because it's 1-for-1 for the turtles right now. Onic has control of this. Brusco will jump in.
Maybe not anymore. Because they find a kill onto Sawo, making it 2 because they also find Sunset Lover. There's the setup coming in from Kid Bomba. SOD doesn't land, and there is the potential duality! Catching 2 members of Team Spirit who were just trying to walk away. And that's a clear win for Onic PH.
Really tough fight to take. Again, as we just saw, the damage that comes from a Joy and a Lu Yi, what a kick to set things up. And then they force a fight even further in the mid. So they already lose 2 members for Team Spirit, but then the fight's still breaking out. And even if you're trying to run to your turret, you're not safe against this lineup here. So, again, a really decisive play from Brusco. And that's the thing with a Cho. You always have this option to set things up. Yeah, you can feel the heat there.
Yeah,
you can see the heat.
It's getting pretty intense. King Kong also picks up the Holy Crystal. So that's going to be a lot more damage that you could expect from him. A lot more tricky for Sunset Lover to position himself, I guess, if there is that much damage already coming in. And like you mentioned, it's gonna be so tough for Team Spirit to pull off whatever the intentions they have, because like whenever they try to group up, there's that duality that's just gonna deal so much damage, but this time around it might be a better situation for them. They find the kill on Kirk. Brusco gets away of the Dragon, but not in the angle he wanted, but the damage from Kelra and Super Prince is just too much. Brusco trying to close in, Kid Bomba tries to protect the other members, and that was a diversion that was no longer committed, but Team Spirit, they're just so low. They might not actually get to defend that mid lane turret, and they won't.
They lose the tier 1. And that last fight, so good from Brusco. Again, these kicks have been on point. Even if it doesn't convert to a kill, he kicked Hiko. So Hiko wasn't actually able to go ahead and fight in that fight, do the damage he needs to do on this Mozkov. So when they lose a lot of that, and then they just have, you know, the feathered airstrike that they're relying on in these fights, you lose a bunch of your damage profile to be able to use.
Ah.
That is really tough.
It's gonna be super tough right now, considering that Team Spirit, if you look at the gold, majority of their members definitely are behind. Their XP laners, which we've put a lot of focus on, their XP laner is 1,000 gold behind as well. And now Brusco might just go for another setup, decides to use it onto Kid Bomba. He could barely do anything to make it out alive. And that's one member down right before the objective.
Okay, objective is up. They've fought for this at this point. This is going to be an easy Lord to take for Onic Philippines. Really no contestation. You can see the space on the diversion too. They're going to go send it up top. So there was some pressure up here on the tier 1, but Team Spirit still looking for, you know, these turrets to grab. And now we really have to look at this, Brigand, in the sense that, you know, what can Team Spirit do on this defense? You know, I would say they have relatively good firepower to fight a fight. The problem is a lot of that damage is being kicked away, or it's being zoned out from the fights, and it's being juggled around that they're not able to actually utilize it. Brusco's been a menace on this Cho. He's doing a phenomenal job at finding the right targets, but you can see it. I mean, there is still respectable damage being done from Sunset Lover himself alone. So I still think they handle this first Lord pretty well. Like, they're gonna keep their base turrets intact unless there's a forced fight here.
Yep. It does feel like majority of the times, or whenever Team Spirit does want to go for the counter engage though, Onic PH just have enough damage to either take that one member down and just consecutively look for other targets too and just win the fight overall. That's the Holy Shield already popped as well for their base turret up top. So how Team Spirit decides to approach their counter engages is gonna be very crucial, but it seems like now what they're after isn't just any counter engage. They use the conceal, try to threaten Onic PH just a bit, and work on defending their waves for now. But Brusco's just seemingly waiting for that flicker to come in, and then that's when he might potentially go or look for an angle. So Team Spirit shouldn't be that complacent about whatever situation is happening. But wait, Sawo, he actually decides to go in, and now he misses the final slash and gets bursted down.
The struggle that we're seeing with the Arlots right now, and that's the case. Sawo goes down, try to force something, but ultimately you're so far behind, you just get outmaneuvered, outgunned. Feathered airstrike to be used here to try to clear this out and hold on to this tier 2 turret in the mid lane, or bottom lane, but again, I think you're putting a lot of that weight now on Hiko.
Yeah.
He picks up the Malefic gun. He should be able to fight, you know? I think the biggest problem is just, again, he doesn't have much space to work with just because there's such a threat. I mean, look at Brusco. He's been doing this all game.
Oh, and now he finds the kick onto Hiko, taking down the most important member right now, and the kill goes over to Kelra. King Kong gets traded out too, however, but Sunset Lover doesn't land the skills. And there's the vengeance still from Kirk, and the side steps. Oh my goodness.
The bob, the weave, the skip. You know, they're really just kind of going with the fact that they have this kind of lead. They can get away with a lot, and that's what we're seeing. Even if it doesn't seem like there's an angle here for them to push in the base, Onic Philippines takes it anyway, whether they haven't conceal or Brusco is available to go for the kick. So they knew that was worth, going for.
Yeah.
The Lord is going to be up now, and King Kong's back up. You're in a great position. Kelra, too, just having a great experience on the Granger here, picks up the BOD. So they're in, again, fighting form. And for Team Spirit, they have to make the decision. Do we actually contest this? Do we show ourselves for this fight? And it seems like they want to do that. And this has been the constant pressure that a lot of the roams in MSC have been feeling, especially when they pick up these, these heroes like the Arlot. You're kind of reliant on setting things up like that, or the Badang, for example, for Kid Bone, but there's the conceal.
Oh, Brusco finds Sao. They decide to burst him down first, and King Kong finds the Lord. There's the final slap already committed onto Super Prince, but they don't have enough damage just yet. XOD will land, however, but does Hiko still want to fight this? He goes in, he looks for Super Prince, but there's the flicker, and now they use the diversion to bring him back closer to the target, but the duality won't land, but still, they still proceed with the fight. Window nature used by Kelra, and one shot trying to look for another kill, but they just walk away.
What a play! He knew that the Feathered Airstrike was going to be set up, so he might as well go for it. Flickers forward, gets the kill. Kelra makes it happen in the 1v2 in the mid.
How?
That's Kelra.
That's okay.
I guess that's all we can say. I mean, he knew that there was eventually either he was going to go down or get Feathered Airstriked or something, so having that flicker available gave him that option. Little setup down here on the bottom. Lord's going to be cleared out, so this is at least good for TS. Can they withstand this fight, though? That might be forced down on them.
And that's the tankiest member. One shot already using the Tortoise Passans.
That's your tanky dude, and he doesn't look that tanky. It's, again, when you have this kind of build-up in the items for Onic Philippines, especially for Kelra, it's really hard to go through that. Look at the stacks here. Just absolutely stacked up. He's fully item locked too. Locked in. He had to pop the Window of Nature earlier on, but he's fine. And even though the Lord was taken care of, again, this is something that Team Spirit can play around. They always, when you consider yourself down this much, it's like, all right, what does this team do? And it's literally buying time. They clear out the Lord. That's great. Hiko is still in a fighting position. We've already seen it. He was in a good position to go and fight against Kelra.
Yep.
Like, the damage is there, but they've been having a hard time with Brusco here.
Honestly, for Team Spirit, I feel like they just really have to be mindful that no one at this point is definitely going to be safe. So wherever they decide to position themselves, it should be in a way that they could just immediately or easily find a way to regroup if things don't go too well for them. Because even targets like Sao or Kid Bomba seem like they're okay targets for Brusco to go for in terms of using the Way of the Dragon, and now Sao might just be able to find an angle. We'll be using the final flash on Kirk though, but the follow-up, it won't be there just yet. There's the Feathered Airstrike, as well as the back to shield Unity already committed onto Super Prince, but Brusco coming again from the sides will just have to disrupt the formation all over again. And not to mention, King Kong wasn't even part of that fight just yet.
Yeah, he wasn't a part of the fight, but I don't know. Team Spirit is looking like they're confident enough to take the fights, knowing the fact that they have enough damage. Like, that's not even the question. The damage is not the question anymore. You've got a little more defensiveness now, though, for Hiko, which is really important. But you can see this. Oh, Sao goes in. Whoa, but the diversion brings him to safety anyway.
They casted that even before seeing Sao, so it was just really a way to keep the discipline there, make sure that they'll be all complete before this upcoming Lord, which is looking to be one of the most important objectives yet in this game. Kirk will be trying to deal a bit of damage onto one shot, but where does Team Spirit look for an angle? That's the curtain call already committed by Kirk. But one shot, will he decide to go in? Brusco's just holding this brush.
Brusco's holding on. He's got immortality. Spear's going to be thrown out. So this is the moment for them to strike. Sao looking for his own angle, but he takes a lot of damage here.
Oh, there goes the final slash. But then again, the team fight's kind of split up, but Super Prince will be the first target here for Team Spirit. Hiko's making things happen. Gets to look for Kirk, but then Brusco, he blocks one shot. There goes the fist crack, already committed as well. But all of them, Kirk and Brusco just get to survive, and Kelra just finding the Skypiercer stacks. Currently legendary on the Granger, still keeping his teammates safe. It's Kelra who actually protected his team.
He was there for them, and he's staying together. They're going to be able to find Brusco, but can Kelra do it? Hiko finds him, and they finally shut Kelra down. It's a turn of events for Team Spirit, and now Kirk on the run. But this is a clear sign for Team Spirit to take the Lord.
They probably stayed there a bit too long. And it was Team Spirit who was able to actually keep themselves in the game, but Hiko gets knocked out by the Lord and bursted down by Onic PH. Sunset Lover trying to look for another trade, but Kirk is trying to work on it as well, and that's going to be a shutdown by Onic PH.
Man, the tables have turned, the tables. It's all back and forth just when it looks so good for Team Spirit. A diversion comes in clutch for Onic Philippines. Talk about timing.
That was the most clutch diversion. Well, maybe second to that escape diversion we saw down bottom. There are too many diversions happening in this map. You know, like, I'm not sure how to rank them anymore, but now it's another diversion used to pressure the bottom lane, and they take down the base turret even before the Lord arrives.
We need a diversion tier list at some point for people to throw out there, but right now it's this Lord making its way down bottom. Team Spirit trying to do their best to hold on.
They find Kid Bomba, but Kid Bomba still has the flicker. Now Kirk goes in, uses the Vengeance as well, just tries to keep the pressure going for Team Spirit. And now they get to defend, to a certain extent, the incoming waves that are approaching their base. But now they have to let go of all their base turrets.
The work on the Lord here, base turrets all gone. Onic Philippines might just decide that's all we can take. Again, they're respecting what this lineup from Team Spirit can do and the amount of damage that it does have. Sawo is always going to be a problem at this point because if they do get caught in a bad situation like we saw previously where it was a forced fight, then Onic Philippines, even with this, again, are in a position where they could make a mistake position-wise, Kelro gets caught out, or something happens. You know, and that's the thing. Both teams are actually doing a relatively good job at protecting the gold laners, but Hiko has to be a little more aggressive because of the fact that he's on a Moskov instead of a, you know, Kelro can shoot off a little bit from a distance from with the Granger. Now, that's the hard part for them. Spirit Destruction going to be thrown. Kirk will go ahead and give him a high five for that. And look at the positioning here. They want to force it in the mid.
Oh, maybe regroup for now because King Kong might come in at any given moment, but they spotted him out. So they decide to play it safe. That could have been a close call for Team Spirit, though. Quick look on the in-game equipment, but maybe we'll talk about that later because the Fury Bind was already used by Sunset Lover here. Windsor Crown briefly tries to keep him safe. Might get the burst down. King Kong pops the immortality, and now it's his turn to use the Windsor Crown.
Oh, the setup's still going. Kelra has the space. Sao's 1 HP away, but he goes unleashing on Kirk. He jumps on over the wall, picks up an immortality, and tries to buy a little bit more time, but he has trouble with that. And again, the Lord is up. 2 fall for Onic Philippines.
Okay, I can see how everyone is feeling about this situation right now. People are standing up. And you understand why. This has been such a close fight. We're already approaching the 21-minute mark, and Team Spirit have somehow just kept themselves in the game despite how Onic PH seemed to have dominated so much already.
They have pretty much handled a 7, almost 8,000 gold lead that Onic Philippines has had. And now I feel like Team Spirit, they got the spirit. They're going to start up this Lord. There's a diversion used. Does Onic Philippines decide to try to take the Super Prince up front?
Oh, duality used onto one shot! Sunset Lover gets affected as well, but will Bruce will get to use the Way of the Dragon? It seems like he just is forced to walk for now.
King Kong's
Sunset Lover very low though. King Kong, will he make it in time? No! And somehow, to Onic PH, the call is just to chase after the members of Team Spirit. There's another duality affecting one shot.
Go for Hiko!
From behind! Goes for Hiko! But somehow gets to reposition and keep himself alive!
And Onic Philippines is full force healthy as Team Spirit lost 2, but they managed to get the objective. King Kong not there in time. Can the 3 hold out? With Onic Philippines now approaching the base. Can they end it here?
They have minions, but the Lord is going to spawn in a few moments as well from Team Spirit, so they will have a bit more tools to manage this attempt. Oh, Kirk gets bursted down. There's the better airstrike. He gets to dodge it, but he doesn't touch the Spear of Destruction.
And the feathered airstrikes, so good as well. They'll deal with the Lord here, but now Team Spirit, Kid Bulma up in the front. He's got an immortality. I don't think he wants to force it. He does have the flicker available. And they know that Kirk is down for another 40 seconds. What can they convert off of this? That Lord nearly worked on here, but Onic Philippines, for the first time for the majority of this game, will find themselves on the back foot. They're definitely going to lose some space here. And right now, Team Spirit focusing on the top side.
Okay. So Team Spirit are able to hold on this Lord still and might just get this tier 2 up top. There's a conceal, so they might try to go for something. Force out the flicker from Kellera. That's going to be massive for Team Spirit here if ever they do want to look for an angle later on. But Onic PH, they get to hold on their base turret.
They hold on as much as they can, nearly down there. But for Team Spirit, they have fought tooth and nail to get back into this game. What a game 3 it's been. They'll find the tier 1, possibly the tier 2, forcing Onic Philippines in their base. And this is where we see this kind of lineup, which is a much better sieging lineup if they can pull it off.
Okay, the duality catches up too many members, but Brusco gets caught as well. Curtain call committed onto just Sawo, and he answers right back with a final slash. But Team Spirit, they're running away. They're low on HP. They have to escape. Sawo barely makes it out alive, and that's gonna be the disengage. What a fight by both of these teams.
What a game already. Again, neither team able to capitalize on a kill from there, but Onic Philippines stays in it. So many immortalities, so many items being juggled at this point. Almost 25 minutes in, and this Lord is so crucial here for either team as both get ready for positioning here. Now, this is where we typically see an advantage with having a Louis Yi. That might be the play, it might not. You can already see the positioning here, but for Team Spirit, they're fully immortality it up.
Yeah.
They've got everything they need. They'll start this Lord, but they have to be crucial about it because it does a lot of damage. Just like Sunset Lover. Keeps Kellera and Super Friends in check here.
Yeah, that diversion was used in a position that revealed where Onic PH were. So Team Spirit have full information and have an idea of where all of these members are. I don't think Seiko's gonna go for that, but yeah, they have to manage the waves first though. Team Spirit, given that their base is exposed, clearly are at a disadvantage when it comes to the waves.
This is the new dance that we have right now with the Lord. Diversion can be used. They won't follow through with it. This is about as rare it is now in the meta. We don't see this too often, 25 minutes in. The battle for this kind of Lord. Try to manage your base, because for Team Spirit, that's the biggest disadvantage. All base turrets are down, and we've seen it before, where Onic Philippines, especially Louis, will just run it down on the opposite side of the map. That can't happen here. So they've been keeping this Lord around half health, just waiting for that window of opportunity. This is a crucial point for Team Spirit to answer. We'll go for a reset, but the Feathered Airstrike dropped down too. Sao quite low, but do they commit?
Oh, they will actually commit, but Brusco finds Ego! Kirk is the
still
first
alive.
to fall though, but he somehow is still alive, and he actually finds King Kong! Now Sao blocking the path of the other members, but this is clearly Team Spirit at an advantage. They're
Iko.
the ones with the better
Lord
numbers.
hurts, Iko. Yeah, that Lord hurts. I don't think he wants to tank that up. He's got to go back to the base. Yes, same sentiments. Bring it up for everyone in the audience. Hiko was so close to that Lord, and we've seen it before, where a Lord at this point can take down some people and be an MVP.
Yeah.
So we're back to it. Onic Philippines loses a member, but they still hold it together. Again, that's the advantage I was talking about. Here's a conceal play. They're going to go for Super Prince. They get the flicker. And now Kellera and Brusco on the run.
Super Prince gets to use the diversion out. Oh my gosh, that's going to be top 1 on my ranking now.
The diversion tier list continues to build as Game 3 has been absolute cinema already. Still the fight for the Lord to ensue. Brusco could be in trouble here. He does have an immortality. Can he buy enough time? What's the play here? They're going to go and focus on him.
They're going to work on Brusco. Is he going to buy enough time though? Actually still survives that.
Kid Bomba's not going to fall for it. He was down in the base, so Kid Bomba, he's seen it time and time again, and it's not happening this time for Team Spirit.
Yep.
Welcome back to the dance.
Welcome back. We're still here. 27 minutes in the game. We're still here. Dancing for the Lord. Immortality already popped though for Brusco. That's one thing you could probably take note of if you are Team Spirit. So Brusco will have to be a little more particular when he decides to go in and look for angles to set up using the Way of the Dragon. But still, this doesn't change the fact that Onic PH can still have other ways to work around. There are diversion plays that can still come in. Even if it doesn't start with Brusco, you just have to be very careful about it.
there's only so many immortalities, winter crowns, rose gold dogs that you can bring to the table. And eventually, those will run out. You'll have to switch things up. Diversion goes for Hiko. Oh, Brusco not close enough. Just about able to spot out Hiko. So now they're on this bottom side of the map, but still, neither team can really commit to this lore just because of how beefy it is, how much it hurts. You can't really hold it there, even if you're one shot, which is crazy to think. You know, back with our utility junglers before, they could just hold it all day. Well, right now, you can't.
Yeah, my heart can handle this anymore! The SLD is gonna land onto Kark, and they're actually gonna burst him down, but there's a diversion play! There's a diversion play, and it's Super Fritz all alone! Will he be able to save the game for his team, though? He does deal enough damage. King Kong from behind might just look for an angle, but there's the final slash! And King Kong gets blocked by the fist break, fist crack!
King Kong's in trouble, buys time with the winter crown, but it's not going to be enough as they are falling on the defense. Onic trying to run, but Salvo jumps in with a flicker. He has Kelra in sight, as well as Super Fritz, and he can't escape either. Team Spirit has clawed back into this game. Kelra will keep them at bay. Another shot will get the shutdown. Picks up another. Can he find Hiko? Hiko versus 2. Kelra and Brusco on the hunt.
Everything's on Hiko. Hiko has to defend this game.
Oh, can Hiko pull this off? He still has these minions, but Brusco popped the conceal. They're going to run him down. That's the kick. But did they buy enough space here? And the base is already going to be worked on. And Onic Philippines will make it happen in Game 3. Wow. Wowee. Wow. Whoa. What did we see?
This is such a wow moment. And you could see the fans rejoicing after that, 28-minute game? Full of back and forth. Full of moments where you thought Onic already lost it, but no. Oh my goodness. It's such a devastating loss if you were Team Spirit, but Onic, they literally won by holding on.
I know everybody can take a deep breath after that one.
Thank you, yes.
That was absolute cinema. There's no other way to put it. I mean, what a Game 3. Two teams duking it out. I still got to give it up to Team Spirit too. To come back from the deficit that they were at, to bring it almost to this point, you know, the brink of almost winning is insane. Props to them, but Onic Philippines showcasing again just how they can turn the tide. And I mean, Kelra, people have been looking for that Kelra, the Savage himself. Like, look at that last defense that they had to do.
Yeah.
I mean, the timing on the Destinatas, the Rhapsodies, the positioning. My God, you can see this, you know, like the sigh of relief even for the players as they went through this game. Again, just absolutely insane. Like, this is one of the, I feel like, just highlight games so far of MSC. Both teams, super locked in here.
Super locked in, yeah. You could see it. You could see it. Right now, you could look at Kid Bomba and see how locked in he is. Every single one of them. And that's why it feels so devastating to be in Team Spirit's position right now, because that was such a long game.
Yeah.
It definitely has been draining for them, and this was when we thought that Team Spirit nearly had it in the bag, because they were just becoming so aggressive. They were chasing after Onic PH, pouring in all of their resources just to clear every single member out, but
and look at Kelra.
They forgot about Kelra, yes.
Look at this. Again, the fact that he's able to do that, keep him in the game and make it work. And then he knows, okay, Brusco's with me. This guy has a conceal. We can get this little speed boost and make it happen. And great time. Brusco knew it as well. Goes in with a kick. Has enough range for Kelra to work. So just absolutely amazing. You can, everybody was hyped for it. Kip Boma as well. Very close. Let's throw it over to the desk. I can't wait to see what they have to say.
Oh boy. It is just... I hope you guys are enjoying the time of day. It is crazy how much cinema we are seeing here in this match. I take it back. El Clasico, turn it into Team Spirit versus Onic PH.